DHFL's lenders have finalized the eligibility criteria for prospective bidders. And what's interesting is the clause that interested parties can bid for the entire company or in parts. Vishwanath Nair, he joins us for more on this story. Vishwanath, get us the exclusive insight into this.
Right. So as you said correctly, the bidders are allowed to bid for either the entire company or in parts. Now, the company is essentially split into three parts. The first being the retail assets, where, of course, the value is higher, the rate of delinquency is lower, and obviously there will be more. The expectation is that there will be more interest. The second part is the wholesale portfolio, where there are some stressed assets, and the third part is slum rehabilitation projects, where the maximum number of defaults are happening. So these are the three essential parts. Now the bidder can choose, it could be a strategic investor or a financial investor, and depending on who they are and what they're interested in, there is a sliding scale of eligibility that the lenders have set. Now let's try and understand what these eligibility criteria includes. So firstly, for strategic investors, you could look at people who are who have a total net worth of 3,500 crore if they are interested to bid for the entire company. Now let's say if they're only interested in the retail loan portfolio, there again the 3,500 crore norm is required because obviously it's a high value asset. In case if they're interested in only the wholesale portfolio of the book of the company, then that's about 1,500 crore worth of net worth, and for the slum rehabilitation projects, it's about 500 crore worth of net worth if you're a strategic investor. In case you're a financial investor looking to invest in this financial services company, then you need to fulfill two criteria. The first being the minimum assets under management, and the second being the minimum committed funds that can be deployed in India. So as far as assets under management are concerned, for the whole company as well as for the retail assets, you need minimum 10,000 crore worth of assets under management and minimum committed funds of about 3,500 crore in both those cases. Similarly, if you're talking about only the wholesale portfolio of the book, then the financial investor must have assets under management of 4,000 crore and minimum committed funds of about 1,000 crore. If you're interested only in the slum rehabilitation projects, then about 1,500 crore worth of AUM and 1,000 crore worth of committed funds. So essentially what the lenders have done is that they have ensured that you get bidders for each category rather than just the whole company, because as a company, as a whole as a company, you may not find that many bidders, but there might be people who might want to pick up the pieces, and that's where they're giving that benefit to people who might be interested in bidding for these assets. Similarly, you don't need to just bid for whole or one. You could bid for, let's say, two parts, only the retail and the wholesale, or the wholesale and the SRA. Depending on whatever your risk appetite is, investors could look at these assets. This is being done for the first time, this kind of split sort of eligibility criteria, primarily because, well, DHFL is the first NBFC to go through the insolvency proceedings. So obviously it's a new case, so you need to look at newer ways to invite bidders into the whole process.
Has this been done taking feedback into consideration, like people with the expression of interest in specific parts of the business rather than the whole business?
Well, typically the lenders have a consultative process where they, amongst themselves as well as the advisors who participate in the process, they take their advice into consideration before they finalize eligibility norms. And for each case that goes through insolvency, there is a separate meeting and there is a separate sort of, discussion on what the eligibility of the bidder should be, depending on, of course, on the company's value and what the lenders hope that they will get from the asset, from the entire transaction. So that eligibility criteria is set for each asset. This is the first time here that they're trying to do this sort of sliding scale of eligibility, which is, of course, something new.
Let's say hypothetically, one of the segments doesn't receive any sort of bid, then what happens?
Well, clearly the lenders are willing to split the company. So if they're willing to split the company, then obviously under insolvency, if you do not find a bidder for a certain asset, that asset goes into liquidation. We do not know. I mean, obviously it's a hypothetical situation. We cannot predict what is going to happen to the asset. Maybe they'll do another round of bidding. Not entirely sure about that, but we can say that they are willing to consider that some parts of the company deserve special attention, while the others would have more people to pick them up.